Now in this video, we're actually going to be looking at condensing logarithms. And since I've already went over some of the basic properties of logarithms, I'm not going to go over all of it again. I'm just going to go ahead and note the two rules or properties that we're going to use in order to condense this particular logarithm. So notice that I'm going to be using two things. First of all, I'm going to use the product property. And the reason I know that I'm going to be using the product property is because if you notice, we have addition going on here. So you can see these two things are being added. And so if these two are being added right here, then there's addition. I know that before they were expanded in this fashion, if I were to condense them back the way to an original logarithm, that they would just simply be two terms being multiplied. And I must say two terms, three terms, all right? So the 4, the 1/2, and the x. Now, the other rule that we're going to use is going to be the power property. And that's because I notice right here, this 2, right? Notice that's in front of the log. So therefore, that is actually representative of a power. So even though, remember that we can go ahead and take a power of any log and we simply put it before it. And so that's the power property. So those two properties are going to be used. And let's go ahead and start. And I'm going to show you how you would approach a problem like this if you're asked to condense it. So I'm going to move this back down a little bit, and I'm going to start doing some work over here on the left. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to take this power and deal with it first. I'm going to take this power of 2 right here, and I'm simply going to move it up to the top, right, and make it a power of this 1/2. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to bring this one down. So this is going to still be log base 3 of 4. Plus, but instead of a 2, I'm going to go ahead and just write log base 3, and then I got 1/2, so of 1/2, and this 2 is now going to go over that 1/2. And of course I had my arrow here, I should have put it a little bit more over here, but we're just bringing it up to the top. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring down this next term, so that was this one, and this term, if I bring it down, it's just log base 3 of x. So we're closer to being done, but we're not finished yet. The only thing we've done right now is use the power property, and we move this power of 2 back over here to this 1/2. So next I'm going to attempt to put this all together as one log. Now notice, right, all these have a log of base 3, so they can be put together. And so I'm going to write it as log base 3, and then I'm going to put a parenthesis, and I'm going to start with the 4. I'll put that first, so 4, and then I have the 1/2 squared, circle that way you can just see where I'm getting everything from, and so parenthesis 1/2 squared, and then I'm going to go ahead and take this x and put it in the mix as well, so times x. Now do notice that these are just two numerical values. They're two constant values. So we do have to take care of that and multiply those out before we get to our final answer. Go ahead and I'm going to evaluate 4 times 1/2 to the second power, because we got to go ahead and combine those values. So alpha y equals 1 over 2, close parenthesis, and to the power of 2. So notice I just took that 4 times 1/2 to the power of 2, I'm going to hit enter, and it turns it into 1. So when I write my final answer, right, this is really just going to be log base 3 of 1 times x. Now remember, there's always a 1 that's an invisible one that's in front of every variable x. So I would say as a final answer, make sure that you put this x in there without the 1, because it's implied. So this is log base 3 of x. That is the final answer for this problem. And that shows all the steps that it took in order to get it.